Welcome to this tutorial where we take a look on how we can verify a mobile driver's license mDL via OID4VP version 1 using the walt.id verifier 2 API from the community stack. Now, before we get started, we need to make sure we have the verifier API running locally. We will also need a test wallet with an mdoc credential in it so we can then request it from the verifier. Now, if you go to our walt.id identity repository on GitHub and clone it into your local environment, you will get a Docker Compose that you can use to bring up the whole stack, including the verifier as well as the wallet service. Now, I have already cloned it and I can now simply cd into the Docker Compose folder and then here do a Docker Compose up to bring up all of the services. Now, I previously already created a wallet. So when I go here now to localhost 7006, we have the wallet API to running. And when we quickly take a look here into list credentials, we can see that I have already mdoc credential. In this, we can also take a look at it in detail. So when I copy out the ID here, we can see this is an mDL document with all of the different data attributes. So what we will now do is using the verifier 2 API to request this mDL from the wallet. For this, I will copy out this request right here and go to the locally running verifier, which is running on localhost 7004. And I use the verification session create endpoint. I provide here the body. Now here we can see for the flow type, I'll use cross-device flow, which means the authorization URL, which we be getting back from the verifier, can be rendered out as a QR code. We also see then here in the core flow specified the DCQL query. Now the DCQL query is used to describe to the wallet which type of credential the verifier is requesting and which specific attributes about that credential. Next to this, there's also a set of policies specified right here that will be applied once the credential received comes back from the wallet to the verifier. The verifier then will apply all of these specified policies right here. Now we can see here that the signature policy is specified. We could also remove that as this is the default policy that gets always applied. You can also check out the docs and learn about other types of policies which are available right here. So we have here various different policies that you can use to then check different things about a credential that has been received. Now back to the request. The mDL is specific in that way that by default, all of the fields in the mDL are not disclosed. So when we here, for example, if I would leave out all of these claims right here, we wouldn't get back any claims because they are just simply hidden by default. Comparably to, for example, a W4C verifiable credential, everything is open by default. And with the SD.BC, there are only specific attributes that can be marked as selectively disclosable. Therefore, for the mDL, we need to specify all the claims that we want to request and get from the wallet. And so here we specify family name, given name, and birth date. Now to create this DCQL query, you can also use our DCQL builder, which is a UI tool that simply helps you craft these DCQL queries. You can find it at dcql.walt.id. So here we can select different types of credentials, and then we simply can craft our DCQL query. Now back here, we will now execute this request. When we do so, we get back our authorization URL. Now this could be now rendered out as a QR code or be behind a button or even be provided to the Digital Credentials API, which is available in browsers like Chrome to then fulfill the request. At the end here, we will just simply use this plain authorization request and provide it directly to the wallet API as we have it available. So I will use this, go to the wallet API, go to the present endpoint, provide it right here. So normally, if this is a wallet, the user would scan the QR code, which then basically is this authorization URL. And so after the wallet has scanned it, it will be transformed back to this specific URL and then provided to an API or internal mechanism to further process it. So we simply provide here this plain URL, and then I provide my wallet ID. Now we see, okay, the transmission has been successful. So the wallet presented something. Now the question is, okay, was it the correct thing? And that's what we will now figure out by going back to the verifier, getting the session ID, going here to this info endpoint, providing the session ID, executing this. And we can see here our request, and then we see that the presentation was successful. So everything has been, the mDL has been presented, the signature policy passed, which we will also find here somewhere. So here you can see that the policy signature passed. And then we also find here, if we go down a bit, the credential data we requested. So family name, given name, and birth date, which we specified earlier in our presentation request right here. Now, in our docs, you can learn more about the different types of options and how you can basically configure this verification request we just did, and also explore different types of policies that you can apply. If you enjoy our tools, please leave us a star on GitHub. And with that, happy building and see you next time.